Hello. So today I've decided to take on a building challenge. The other day I watched Booster's video on his manhunt video where he jumps and gets random items. So I decided to download the mod pack and try to build with it. The items are very random, so I'm gonna see what I can build and hopefully it'll look good. And I only have 1 hour to build. I'm probably gonna build a house because that seems like it's gonna be the most simple with the ton of blocks that I'm probably gonna get. So let's see how it'll go. Before I get into this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's free and you can change your mind later. And comment down below if you have any other data packs you want me to try. On to the video. Okay, so voiced over Firefly here. I didn't really talk much while I was building this because I really didn't have much to say. It's just the same thing over and over again. So I'm here to talk. Basically, my thought process deciding to build this house was I thought maybe since I got a lot of blocks when I was trying out this data pack, that I could build something with it. However, it's all random. So I didn't really think it completely through. That I was like, I'm gonna have something that I'm gonna need to actually build and make it look coherent, but that's gonna be very hard and I'm gonna have to go through a lot of items to eventually get to that point. So as you see, I'm just jumping around for most of this video, and you'll see later on too, that I have a bunch of items that I don't really need right away, or that I needed and I got rid of, and that I definitely don't need at all, like a Totem of Undying. I kind of wish I got that when I was practicing this data pack, because I was gonna beat Minecraft with it, but then I got very unlucky with all my stuff. So I decided to build because I've been building a lot recently on Creative Worlds just in my free time and my 1 year world series. I thought it was a good idea for me to actually build something here and see how it turns out. This was the most disorganized my inventory's ever been, ever playing Minecraft. In like the 9+ years I've been playing Minecraft, my inventory has never been this disorganized. And it's insane how disorganized it was. Like, I couldn't even fix it because I had to keep jumping up blocks, I had to keep getting more blocks so I could build. And you could probably see that I struggled with like determining what I wanted to keep and what I didn't want to keep. Now, I tried to make the floor plan as coherent as possible because I didn't want the floor to look the weirdest, if that makes sense. The floor is the one thing that had to have like a certain design because otherwise it just looks funky or like a disco floor. And I didn't have the right blocks to actually make it into a disco floor for a very long time. So I had to go and try to use like the blocks that I got because I wasn't allowed to use any other blocks in the world. I had to use what I got from jumping and then make it into something else, which is what I did in this video. So I struggled a lot with trying to like figure out what I wanted for the floor. And that's where most of my time actually went, like just trying to find the right blocks for the floor. I realized after the floor that I wasn't going to be able to do the walls normally, like how I would want them to do. I actually tried to set some stuff aside to make a pattern, but I couldn't even do that. I had to hope for the best because I was running out of time. I was gonna run out of time and then I would have an incomplete build, which I did not want in this case. So I started off with glass for the front part of the wall because I thought glass would be the easiest. Like, I was getting quite a bit of it at the time. However, I didn't realize as I was placing it that I was mostly getting glass panes, and that's not going to be the best for what I was trying to do. It's not the best for the walls. So I just went with like the little pattern in the beginning just to have something there, and no other places really had glass blocks anywhere else except for the windows, which I did use glass panes for, but nowhere else I wanted to use the glass blocks because I would have ran out of time like I've mentioned earlier. Okay, so I added some decoration blocks to this because I wanted to add like some environment to it because I knew at this point it was like 10 minutes in to recording. I knew that by how long it took me to do the floor and how much I had left to do, I was not going to remember or have enough time to fully decorate downstairs. So I wanted to add some objects. So I added a loom, a furnace, and later on I added an enchantment table. I decided at this point since I didn't have the blocks I needed, that I was gonna make the outside into a more earthy design. So it would contain like blues, browns, greens, a little bit of red because I added the red mushroom block, but not too much color. It's still pretty earthy, and I didn't want to distract from the windows too much because those were already colorful enough. Despite what I thought about this, like, I thought this was going to be very easy, very chill. No, this was the hardest part because I got so many colorful blocks that I couldn't use them. I was just like, what do I do with this? I can't use that. And I was kind of just stuck there because I was like, I can only use certain colors, otherwise it looks weird. So most of this was just trying to figure out what color I needed and which ones would work. I changed up some of the colors because I had hot pink earlier, and I was just like, no, that's not going there. So I did a lot of crafting just to get to the point where I was at, because otherwise I would have been a lot worse off, and my build wouldn't have looked as good. When I'm rewatching this, I notice how vibrant the blue is. However, when I see it like in actual Minecraft, it doesn't take away from anything, which I think is good, but I don't know how it looks on other people's screens, obviously. So the blue might be like kind of suffocating to some, but I kind of liked how it looked. I thought it added some color to it because despite all this is still a very colorful build. Despite how I wanted like the outside to be earthy, I still wanted to add like a pop of color, so it didn't look like I just was like, okay, I'm choosing only like greens and browns just to make this look coherent, but I wanted to add the color because everywhere else had some color. During this time when I was building the walls, I was actually getting very stressed because I was already halfway done with my time and I wasn't even done with the walls. Like, I still had like another layer and a couple of blocks still missing, and I had to make the roof. I was so panicked during this that I was kind of just like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm really not gonna make this build, and I'm gonna run out of time, and then I'm not gonna have a video. But obviously, since this is coming out, I finished. I actually made it. So during the last 15 minutes is when I actually started on the roof, and I realized during this point that stairs weren't that common, because I was gonna just do a basic roof, just something really small, nothing too like crazy. And I realized that stairs were uncommon. At least in this situation, they were uncommon. So I was trying to think of a way to get stairs, and I would grab blocks and try to keep it, and I had to make a crafting table, but it wasn't really working out. I could only craft one thing of stairs. So I was overall just really panicked that I wasn't going to finish this. I had 15 minutes left, and like the time kept going down and down and down, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna finish this? I got to the point where I was like, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of stairs I use. As long as I have some stairs and they look somewhat coherent, it doesn't matter how what color I have them as. I just needed something. The only one I wouldn't use would be bricks, because I did not want any bricks on this. I think bricks would take away from the build, so I did not use bricks, and I did throw out some bricks, as you would see in the video. It gets to the last 5 minutes, and I still don't have everything I need for this roof. And I've been jumping for a very long time. I've been jumping for 10 minutes for these stairs. I'm panicked, and I'm like, what do I do in this situation? What do I get that can help me? So I'm trying to look at my inventory and try to figure out, should I just keep jumping? What should I do? What can I do about this situation? I jump around so that blocks aren't as like close together, but they're a bit everywhere, and I can see everything I need and choose what I want. And I think this helped me out quite a bit because I could see blocks that I could use for the roof. I realized like the last minute that I was not going to finish this if I continued jumping like this. So I made the hard choice of getting rid of some of the stairs. Now, I was very worried about doing this because I was like, this is going to take away from the build, it's going to look bad. I got rid of the corner stairs, and that saved me so much. I replaced the corner stairs with a block, and I'm glad I made that choice so I could actually finish the build. Otherwise, this build would not have been finished. So I quickly replaced the blocks, and then I finished the rest of the roof with the blocks that I gathered from jumping, because I got a ton of like more earthy color blocks, kind of like what I did for the walls. So I just placed that at the top and I finished the build. So on to Past Firefly. She'll take care of the rest, give you the tour of the place.